What's going on, Faded Culture? It's Sergio Barron, and we're back again with another haircut tutorial brought to y'all by our paid sponsors at American Crew. In this crazy transformation, I'm going to show y'all my step-by-step process on how to do a skin fade with some shear work on top, utilizing some of my favorite products and tools by American Crew, like their Prep and Prime Tonic Spray, their matte clay, and also their shears. I'm going to go ahead and leave all the stuff down in the description for y'all so y'all can go ahead and check them out for yourselves. And also, before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also comment down in the comment box what other videos y'all like to showcase on this channel. So with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial, and let's jump right into it. So to begin, I will use American Crew's very own 6.5-inch premium shears. I really love the length and sharpness of these shears, guys, since they really help increase the pace of your workflow. I also like the fact that they have a tension screw on them to help adjust the tension as needed, and overall, guys, a really great balanced pair of shears to own if you plan on working with a lot of scissor cuts. As you see here, guys, I'm just cutting about half of the length off right off the back since we're going with a shorter hairstyle. So with my opposite hand, I'm just holding out a good chunk of his hair and just snipping it right off to debulk a lot of this unwanted hair. And next, I'm just going to comb everything down into its neutral position, and I'm going to continue the debulking phase by throwing on the number 4 guard on my clipper, and I'm just going to take out all of the side length, basically everything right under where the head starts to curve. This whole debulking phase, guys, is always just kind of like a setup to your canvas before you actually come in and start adding in your guidelines and doing the whole haircut overall. And still in the debulking phase, since he had a year worth of hair grown out, I'm gonna grab the number 1 guard and continue debulking right here in the area where I know I will set in my bald guidelines, which is around the temple peak area slanting towards the back, so that I can better see them being set in without having so much hair hanging over the clippers. And now to actually start my shear work up top, I will start by damping his hair with American Crew's Prep and Prime Tonic Spray. I like to use this spray instead of water, especially when working with longer hair, since it has this tacky finish to it that helps with parting the hair a lot more with ease for better control overall. Another upside to it is that it provides a heat protection layer on the hair so that it doesn't get damaged when you blow dry. So now I will start by creating my profile section down the middle of his head, about like 2 fingers in width. And the purpose of this section is to determine the length and the shape of the hair that you want to cut in. So for instance, if you want the front longer than the back, then you will leave more length towards the front, or if you want it all even, you can just follow the shape of his head. Also, you will determine how short to cut it here, so you can base either 1, 2, or even 3 fingers off the scalp. Any longer than that, you will just need to lift your fingers up to the desired length and just cut accordingly. So for this cut, I decided to base 2 fingers in the back, and then I just angled the length, pulling up my 2 fingers as I moved towards the front so that we left it a little longer in the fringe area, which is the front of the head. So now that my profile section is cut out, I'm going to trim away all the hair that hangs out towards the sides. I will do this by pulling out a section at a time, angling my fingers in a vertical manner, coming off from where the head starts to round out towards the top. On the sides, the area is called the parietal ridge area, and on the back, it's the crown. To better visualize the angle, you can lay a comb flat on the sides of his head so you can see where the comb naturally lifts away from the head. And this will be the angle that you will imitate with your fingers. Next, we will just comb everything right back down, and we will start cutting the rest of the top of the hair to match up with our profile section. I'll do this starting from the front, pulling up my first section until I find my guide. Then I will stop and just cut right across to match our guide's length. I will do this till I reach the back of the head, making sure I only move back about a ½ inch in distance at a time to ensure we have the most even cut up top. Once we reach the back, we will start again, this time on the left front side, making sure we match up everything to the middle length. Then we will do the exact same thing on the right side so that everything on top is cut out to match our profile middle section. And now moving forward, I'll quickly blow dry his hair so that we can start doing our clipper work. The hair tends to cut a lot easier when it's completely dry. So using the clipper with no guard and lever completely close to a 0, I will look for his temple peak area, and that's where I will start my first guideline, making sure that it slants towards the back since we are doing a mid-drop fade. The first guideline is probably the most important since the rest of our guidelines will run parallel according to this one. So if this one's crooked, then the whole haircut will be crooked, and we don't want a crooked haircut. So take your time and just make sure you get it down as clean and straight as possible. Next, I open the lever all the way into a half, and I will set in my second guideline coming up about a ½ inch high from the previous one. Make sure when setting in these guidelines you are not digging them in so hard. We are just setting them in a casual manner, not so harsh that they become too difficult to blend out. This haircut, I felt like I didn't debulk enough, and it was going to be a little difficult to see my next guideline with the number 1 guard lever open, so I quickly just debulked it more with the 2 guard lever open so I can better see my third guideline being set in. And so once I took off that unwanted hair, I came in with the number 1 guard lever open to set in my third guideline. And the same as the previous, all I did was come up about another ½ inch higher than the last guideline that we set in. You'll notice that you'll be able to kind of see more clearly this 1.5 guideline being set in since I debulked with that 2.5. If not, you would have just had all this hair hanging over and you wouldn't have been able to see that guideline being set in. But next I will throw on the number 2 guard with the lever open again, but this time with the intent to not so much set in a guideline, but instead start trying to blend in the side length of the hair onto the top length of the hair. Keep in mind we are only still going to come up about a ½ inch high, and since around this guard length will be where the head starts to round out, it will be up to you to start using the clipper in a more so vertical manner and not following the head shape and taking the 2 guard too much into the top. So act as if the head is a square shape and you want to sculpt the hair that way, going straight up. Next we are doing the exact same thing but with the number 3 guard lever open all the way. Again coming up about a ½ inch as well, still trying to sculpt and blend in the side length of hair to the top. Here I am laying the comb down for reference just to show the direction that I am going with, just following the shape of his head. And now anything else that still needs blending, I will use my clipper over comb technique. Still I will be creating that square shape, so make sure to pull the comb out vertically and just trim away any hair that hangs out. I know I'm using a black comb, but I do recommend you use a white comb so you have contrast between the comb and the hair so that you can clearly see what's being cut. So next, now we have our 3 guidelines that we will blend out. I'm going to work my way down starting with the uppermost guideline. For this one I will throw on the 1.5 guard and I will position the lever open to 3/4. That's basically just right in between the lever being open all the way and halfway open. And I'm going to just start blending out that top line using the corners of the clippers so that I get in there in a more detailed manner and I can blend out that top line completely. Keep in mind some guidelines do take longer than others to blend out depending on the type of hair the client has. So just move forward a little at a time, opening the lever or closing it if needed from that 3/4 position until the line gets completely blended out. For me, I feel like the 3/4 position seems to do most of the job for most clients, but like I said, in some cases you will have to open or close that lever here and there to help you blend it out all the way. Now once that top line is blended, we will move forward on the next uppermost guideline. For this one I will use 2 guards, the half clip and the 1 clip, both open to 3/4 as well. First starting with the half clip, blending the initial start of that line, trying to soften it as much as possible. Then whatever it don't take out, we will come back in with the number 1 guard to finish blending it out. So don't try and keep chasing that guideline higher and higher with the half clip, resulting in taking the fade up too high. Just blend out right there where the line is and no more higher than that. And also during this whole process, guys, make sure you're continuously brushing away any loose hair that you're cutting away so that you can clearly see what's being blended out and what still needs to be worked on. And now, like I said, whatever the half clip didn't take out, we're going to come in with that number 1 guard on that 3/4 position and then just finish blending out anything that half clip didn't. I know this whole process can get overwhelming at times, guys, so just take your time and just take it a step at a time. So now we have our last guideline to work on. For this one, it will take 3 lever positions, first starting with the clipper lever closed, then open halfway, then open all the way, gradually opening it as we move up in the line. I will break this step into 3 sections and just focus on blending it out one side at a time, first starting with the right side. So as you see here, I'm just starting with the clipper lever closed, and I'm just going to start and soften the line just where it's at and not any more higher, moving down the line a little at a time. Then we will open the lever halfway and continue blending the line, moving up a little more higher than previously so that we soften it a little more. And last, I'm just going to open the lever all the way just so that we can finish blending out this last guideline completely. And now we're going to proceed with doing the exact same steps on the back side of his head. Again, guys, just starting with that clipper lever closed all the way, then we open it halfway, and then we open it all the way, gradually moving up on that line until we completely blend it out. This client did really have thick hair, so these guidelines took a little longer than usual to blend out. But like I said, guys, in some cases this will happen, so just take it a step at a time and try not to get overwhelmed. Then we will just do the exact same thing on the left side before moving forward with our touch-up work. For this haircut, I felt like I needed the half clip open to 3/4, and all I did was go around the entire haircut looking for any inconsistencies in the blend or dark spots, and I just blended them right out. So just move and angle the clippers in any direction needed on those dark areas to achieve the smoothest blend possible. Next, we are going to take out the bottom of the hair. Notice that I start at the top of the bottom of the hair first, kind of just blending it into the fade as I go. And I start at the top first so that when I take out the rest of the bottom of the hair, I can leave a faint line towards the top, and it serves as another guideline to show us how high to blend up with our electric shaver. So now moving forward with taking out the rest of the hair, you will be able to see what I was talking about. You should be able to notice a faint line, and that's that line that we will end up shaving up to with our shavers so that we don't create any hard bald lines into the fade. And now, using the electric shaver to really get down to the skin, I will use them as a pair of clippers as well. So as I reach that faint line, I will kind of scoop outwards and release pressure on the skin so we don't create any hard lines. And now to trim the front fringe area, I will reapply some hair tonic spray to his bangs. I will be using American Crew's feather razor to produce a soft, detailed, textured finish. So all you do is pull forward as much as you want to trim away, then you just follow through with the razor, gently cutting away any unwanted length. And as you see here, we're left with that soft textured finish. This is a great alternative for those who don't really like getting an edge up on the front. Next, I'm going to just follow through by adding some texture to help create movement to the top of the hair. I will grab a section at a time, starting from the front, working my way towards the back. And all I'm doing is point cutting these 45-degree triangles into these sections without taking away any more length. Now I will repeat this on the right and the left side of the top of the hair. Next, I'm just going to detail the sides with my trimmer before I come in and sharpen it up with my straight razor. Before using my straight razor, I apply some sort of shaving gel to better help the blade glide on the skin, and I also tug with my opposite hand on the skin to create tension and prevent my blade from not sliding properly. I first shave up to the line to sharpen it up, then I gave it another pass against the grain to get closer to the skin, resulting in a longer lasting shave. Enhancing your lineups are optional. Some people like the more natural look, but for those who do want enhancements, I recommend mixing equal parts of water and Kiss Express dye into this portable air gun, then just grab a business card to help you spray it on. And now to style the hair, I will apply American Crew's Boost Powder to help add volume to his hair. This product helps by adding thickness and gives hair a lift with a matte finish. So all you do is sprinkle it on and work it in down to the roots at the same time with your opposite hand. You can honestly just end it like this for that really dry styled look, or we can apply American Crew's pomade for that high shine, or their matte clay. For this haircut, I went with American Crew's matte clay to give his hair a medium hold with that silky matte finish. So all you do is grab about a dime size amount and really work it into your palms before working it onto the hair. And when applying it to the hair, I like to spin it in on to help get it down all the way down to the roots, and then just play with the hair till you find a desired finish. But that's pretty much it, guys, for this tutorial. Here's a quick reminder of the before and here's the after. I hope you guys really enjoyed this transformation tutorial on this mid-skin fade using some of my favorite American Crew's tools and products. If y'all did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out the rest of our videos on our channel where we have tons of other haircut tutorials. Feel free to comment y'all's thoughts and let us know what other haircuts y'all would like us to cover on the next videos. But again, guys, my name is Sergio Barron, this is Faded Culture, and thank y'all so much for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.